Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, some 2 days ago on this platform, I opined that Raila Odinga has finally managed to corner William Ruto using the oil scandal. And just like Anglo-leasing almost brought Mwai Kibaki's government down, and just like Eurobond almost brought Uhuru Ruto government down, the same way this oil scandal, if not well managed by William Ruto, is definitely going to bring him down. And today I'm reading in the papers that the 4 East African countries actually have joined Uganda in opposing the Kenya oil deal, which means it's going to have serious economic implication in our country. But I don't want to talk about that for now. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys how Cleophas Malala, the UDA Secretary General, has actually embarrassed William Ruto by dragging the name of Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga over Njeri oil scandal. For those who follow the politics of this country, there is the oil scandal involving Njeri and the Kenya government. According to Njeri, that consignment of over 17 billion Kenya shillings oil cargo belongs to her.
Acha niwaambie, serikali iko na uhusiano. Haya mafuta ni serikali imechukua. Hii serikali imeiba haya mafuta kwa sababu hayakuwa yao, lakini wameingiza kwa pipeline yao. Huo si ni uwizi? Na wanasema kuwa makaratasi yake yalikuwa gushi. Makaratasi gani yalikuwa gushi? Nyinyi mmeona makaratasi yao? Huu ni unyama, ni ukatili. Hamwezi mkachukua mtu mkamfunga siku 4 na mmemfunga na nyororo kwa nyumba moja ambayo pia kwenda choo inakuwa ni shida, lazima waombe ruhusa. Na akikataa na kama na saa zingine akiomba ruhusa ya kwenda choo wanakataa kuja. Sasa mwenyewe anajichafua. Hapa ameambiwa kuwa aende zake kabisa na asirudi. Na zile meli zingine ambazo alikuwa anatarajia kuleta ambazo ni kama 4 nazo pia arudishe ama sizikaingia hapa. Kumbuka captain wa ile meli ambao mahakama ilikuwa imesema kuwa hiyo meli baki kama thibitisho kwa kesi, iliachiliwa. Captain akaenda zake. Captain mwenyewe ana confirm kuwa alipewa vitisho, akaambiwa kuwa usijaribu tena kusema kuwa hii mali ni ya Njeri kwa sababu kisema hatutakuruhusu ufanye biashara hapa.
And the Kenya Kwanza government have actually claimed the same oil. Let me just read for you what William Ruto said about that particular oil scandal so that you can understand why Cleophas Malala has really embarrassed William Ruto.
Na mumeona vile hiyo mambo imetokea, mambo ya Njeri, ndio Raila ameanza kuongea maneno ya mafuta. Mumeona vile mambo ya Njeri imetokea, ndio mara ya kwanza Uhuru Kenyatta ameamuka akajua kuna kanisa kule Ukambani. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu wakati tulikuwa tunaenda kura mlisikia kwamba kuna 16.9 billion shillings ilipotea. Si mnakumbuka? Hiyo pesa walitoa kwa madola wakapeleka kwa makampuni zao kule nje. Sasa wameenda wamechukua hiyo pesa kule nje 17 billion wakanunua mafuta ikuje kwa njia ya Njeri, ndio hiyo pesa irudi hapa Kenya. So Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, we already know your interest in that scandal. So wameanza kutisha rais, ndio rais akubali mafuta yao hiyo ingie. Hiyo mafuta ikiingia wagawane pesa zao zile ambazo walikuwa wamepora Kenya, 16.9 billion Kenya shillings, yenye walitoa within 24 minutes. Mnakumbuka hiyo kitu? Sasa ndio hizi zinarudi Kenya. Sasa sisi si wajinga kama serikali. Ndio unaona vile tumefinya Njeri, Uhuru Kenyatta ameamuka haraka amekuja. So Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, you must declare your interests in this fuel scandal. Tangu lini Raila Odinga wewe unaanza kusema ati kampuni fulani ipewe tenda, kampuni fulani ipewe tenda? That is not your work. That is not the work of opposition. As governments, Kama serikali imesema ni government to government business na imeteua kampuni 3, respect the decision of government. The contracts are in parliament. Unaweza enda kwa parliament uangalie contracts zile ambazo serikali imepeana. Na Saudi Arabia nao kama government pia nao wameteua kampuni ambazo zitafanya kazi na kampuni yetu. So tafadhali Raila Odinga, wewe concentrate na biashara yako ya gas. Ile gas. Najua Raila alikasirika kwa sababu wakati tuliingia tulipata yeye na Uhuru walikuwa wamepandisha bei ya gas. Walikuwa wamepandisha bei ya gas, hii ndogo ilikuwa karibu 3000 shillings. Unakumbuka? Na ni kwa sababu yeye peke yake ndio ana produce gas. Yeye ndio anafanya biashara ya gas Kenya nzima.
This is William Ruto's position on the oil scandal. William Ruto is saying that we have negotiated with the Saudi Arabia and UAE government in the G2G agreement. All oil coming to Kenya belongs to government. So, because you know how oil is normally procured, it comes from outside. So there's normally the open tender where that used to be the case, where there's open tender where companies would bid, then the winning company would then bring the oil into the country. So G2G meant, according to Ruto, that the oil was then being procured by the government, then lands into the country. So it means any oil in coming to Kenya is for government. That is William Ruto's position. And then Davis Chirchir, who is the minister for energy, also stated something. Let me just read for you what Chirchir said, that it is not true that the 17 billion oil belongs to Njeri. According to our records, the oil belongs to Galana Energies Limited. That is the cabinet secretary. You know, William Ruto said all oil Kenya government. Then Chirchir, who is the minister, is saying that that oil actually belongs to Galana Energies. Now listen to what the Secretary General of UDA party. Remember, as the Secretary General, Malala is the spokesperson of that party. If this issue was too hot for him, then he ought to have just kept quiet, because Malala's position is actually contradicting William Ruto's position. Remember, Raila Odinga was also very clear that Njeri is not the owner of that oil, that there are individuals behind that cargo.
Na swali Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, jina langu ni Sydney Chazima kutoka NTV. Swali la kwanza ni kuhusu tunamuita Njeri wa mafuta. Sijui kama umesikia hilo swala kuhusu uagizaji wa mafuta kule Mombasa. Kuna meli ambayo imeshikwa ilikuwa na mafuta kuleta nchini. Je, mama huyu ni mmoja wapo ya wale watu ambao wanaongelea? Alafu swali la pili,
bado tunawapatia fursa kuongea. Pili, huyo mama mafuta huyo mama Njeri wa mafuta so mamona na unajua biashara ya mafuta, unajua gharama yake, pesa ambayo inatakikana ufanye biashara ya mafuta bilioni 17. Angalia sura yake kama yeye anawakilisha watu wengine. Sasa wale ambao wanawakilisha ndio tunataka kujua, maana yake mingi ni kama sarakasi.
So in this video, I want to explain to you guys how that statement by Malala is actually causing serious embarrassment to William Ruto and the entire Kenya Kwanza government. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. First of all, who is the owner of that 17 billion oil cargo? That is something that Kenyans really need to be told. Because Okiya Omtata also released his dossier. And that Okiya Omtata dossier is also explosive. It points to a scheme by government officials And in fact, Okia Mtata explained it in a way that really any other Kenyan should be able to understand. Then Malala comes and is now saying that the oil actually belongs to Raila and belongs to Uhuru. I know for sure that Malala is a drama teacher. He's good in drama. But he should separate between drama and serious issues, especially when those issues are dealing with the lives of Kenyans. He's the Secretary General of UDA Party. Several questions are being asked. Number one, is the government of Kenya lying to Kenyans according to Malala? Because immediately the issue of Njeri cargo came into play, Kenya Ports Authority issued a statement. And in their statement, they insisted that the cargo belonged to Galana. That was Kenya Ports Authority. Now, when Malala now comes and say that the cargo belongs to Raila and Uhuru, and is the spokesperson of UDA party, then it's something very serious. The cabinet secretary himself has stated that the oil belongs to Kenyan government, to the Galana Energies. Then Malala says, not Raila Odinga. So which means Malala is putting William Ruto in an awkward situation where the next day William Ruto will speak about this particular matter. Obviously, he's going to contradict what Malala is saying. Then what will Kenyans conclude? So that's number one. Number two, who is the real owner of this oil? Because if the president is talking a different story, the minister a different story, the secretary general of the party a different story, who is the real owner? Can William Ruto gather courage and tell Kenyans the real owner of the oil cargo? Very, very important. The third question which Kenyans are now asking themselves, who should they trust over government matters? Should they trust the president? Should they trust the UDA party? Should they trust Ruto? Who should they trust? Or everybody will be speaking. When Ichunga speaks, you go with what Ichunga is saying. What Omanga speaks, you go with what Omanga is saying. When Ruto speaks, you go with what he's saying. So which basically means the government of Kenya is on autopilot. If they can't even manage a simple thing like communication, so that their leaders would stick to one position, that on this matter, our position is that the oil belongs to Galana or the oil belongs to Raila, and then prosecute it. Remember, this oil is already being used by Kenyans. The government decided, and according to them, it found its way. Number four, why Ruto is also embarrassed is because the other day, Uhuru was in Ukambani, and Uhuru accused Kenya Kwanza government of dragging his name in any other matter. So is dragging Uhuru name the new government policy? Because if Uhuru's name is not dragged, then it's like that's not a story for Kenya Kwanza. If the name of Raila Odinga is not dragged in any matter, the other day Ichunga was like, oh, these guys are talking about this oil cargo because, oh, you know, we want to open sijui state capture commission. You know, those things which really don't matter to Kenyans. Kenyans are just concerned about three things: cost of living coming down, the food they'll put on the table, and right now is how they can survive. Mambo matatu. And lastly, why is UDA not responding to the specific issues which are being raised by Njeri? The specific issues which are being raised by Raila Odinga. The specific issues, because you can say Njeri and Raila, or those guys are wrong. Why are they not responding to the specific issues Museveni is actually raising? I don't know what you think. That's my take. And if you ask me, Kenya Kwanza government is going to be a one-term government. Unless William Ruto will have to change the way he's operating. Kenyans are not taking this government seriously. Because, you know, these guys are in government. They are in government. You know, the other day, I had the deputy president speaking, a deputy president speaking, that in a forum of accountants, and sadly nobody raised the issue with him, that, you know, Uhuru sijui took some billion, how many billions, and put to his bank. That bank is still there. Uhuru is still here. The bank is still operating. If the bank committed economic crimes, yeah, close that bank, close it. I mean, just do it. That's the basic thing. I mean, a government, a working government would not say, okay, sisi, tutaongea ukweli. What truth are you saying? Tutasema ukweli, oh, sijui nini. There is no truth. This country is ruled by law. If there is any economic crime, Uhuru Kenyatta and NCBA bank committed. Asset recovery fast, chap chap. Recover the money. That's what Kenyans are asking for, not these rhetorics. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.